Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hello, Hellions, and welcome back to the Potter and Hill podcast. I'm your host tonight, BC. As everybody else can take the night off and laugh.
Yes. Well, we already are.
So I'm joined tonight with
Steve
and
BB
and on the keys,
Dylan.
Alrighty. Okay, guys. How's the week going? I mean, how's last week going? We did the Monsters of Rock recap. I'm only going to be able to talk to Steve on this one.
We had a good time. We had the Rage in the Cage, me, you, Granza, Sonny, and we did. Richie was with us, and Sonny and Steven were on the episode as well. It was good. We did the recap, and just so everyone knows, we are actually officially booked for Monsters of Rock Cruise 2024. We booked today. Today is May 16th. It was cheaper this year. It was cheaper by like $100, I think.
I thought so.
Which I have no idea how the fuck that happened.
But,
So it's pretty much what it was last year. It's just a little cheaper, but we have the Rage in the Cage cabin again, and so it's going to be Tony and his brother Mark and his girlfriend in one cabin. It's going to be the Rage in the Cage. I think Steven and Jen are going. I don't know. Yeah. Steven won't miss. His FOMO will get the best of him for sure.
He said today he booked.
Yeah. So then, and then the other cabin is going to be Rob, Berto, and Richie. So we got a good crew going. We're all set to go. They've mentioned bands already. It's like Ace Frehley, Joe Satriani. Who's on there, BC?
Yeah.
Lizzie Borden.
There we go. I bet you they don't play the theater again.
Hey, since they played on the Monsters of Rock Cruise, I've been emailing probably about 50 to 100 emails a day. It finally paid off. Thank you, Lizzie. I got you back on.
All right.
Now the recap ended up being 3 parts, right?
Yeah, we did one part on our show, and then Steven broke up their episode into 2.
Okay.
So
Go to Growing Up Rock podcast to check those second
absolutely
2 parts out.
Check out the second and third part.
Yeah, they put the second part out on Saturday, and then the third part was out on Sunday when they normally release their episode. So it was good. It was good getting together with everyone again, and this is the first that we've been in the same room since, goddamn, I don't know, probably the beginning of April sometime.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we were here.
Here, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the last people that recorded here were me and BB.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, you guys recorded while we were gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got to meet Chris Holmes, mean man, motherfucker, and he almost choked me.
Bitch.
He went to take my hat off my head, and it was attached to my neck. But he was good. I mean, standouts. I'm trying the usual standouts.
You got me with Taiketo, BC. You got me with Taiketo. I was
preaching the Bible to Steve for how many years?
Finally
it sunk.
I know. Out of all those times that I saw them at M3, they just never clicked with me. And then saw them Studio B, both shows, and I'm a believer now. So got to talk to him the next day after the first show. Sonny and I saw him. We talked to him for a couple minutes, and he was cool, super nice. Still sounds phenomenal. Still sounds fantastic. And if you got, I got the cruise crud a little late coming back. It hit me like a ton of bricks about last Monday, the Monday after we got off the cruise, and I worked with BC one day last week, and I was just fucking dying. I was just beat down. But feel no better. I got a little cough, so if I cough a couple times, that you hear a cough, that's going to be me. So it was fun.
Alrighty. Also, Dylan, you went to see Taylor Swift.
I did. Yeah.
Second time.
Second show. Yep. First one was in Tampa. This one was at Lincoln Financial in Philly.
More local.
Yeah, a little more local, but it took longer to get back to where we were home than it did in Tampa. We got home at 4:45 in the morning. That was great. But,
so his ride home was longer than the flight would have been.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I mean.
Damn.
We were stuck in that parking lot for so long, but it was a very fun time. We went to the Sunday show. She played 3 shows all weekend, And it was great. There's a couple different things she did for this show than in Tampa, which was really cool. Like her opener, Phoebe Bridgers, she had done a song with Phoebe on one of her albums, and they performed it live on all 3 shows, which was really, really cool to see them perform it live. And it was a good song, so I wasn't complaining. But yeah, it was a fun experience. It was cool seeing everybody that I know go to different shows. Like our cousin Ashley was at Saturday's show, I think, and BB and his family. Well, BB was in the parking lot while his family was at the show on Friday, and Oliva and his family were at the show on Friday. So it was cool seeing that everybody kind of picked a different day to go, and I decided to go Mother's Day for some reason, but thankfully still got to celebrate with my mom. And we're going to the movies as well this weekend, so
good.
That'll be fun. But great show. It was a really fun time.
Cool. Alrighty, let's see what we're listening to this week. Steve.
All right, I checked out a couple things this week. The new Winger album, Winger 7, was I definitely enjoyed that. It was really good. The new Heaven's Edge, I got to check that out. It was really good. Band that was, I think they had a new album out probably 2021, I want to say. Scream Machine. They have a new album out called The Church of the Scream. Real good metal band, something different. I didn't get to listen to it, but I know your band Circus of Rock has got a new album out, BB. I don't know if you checked that out yet. And I just want to throw out there, today is the 40th anniversary of Iron Maiden's Peace of Mind. 40 years ago today it came out. And 13 years ago today, Dio passed away. So it's a lot going on today. It's our buddies Gert and Skip. It's their birthday today as well. And
Casey's tomorrow.
Woof. So we got a lot going on this week. So I listened to, gave Peace of Mind a good listen to today. I listened to Holy Diver in honor of Dio. The 2022 Joe Barresi remix. Fucking fantastic. And that's what I got going.
Nice.
Alrighty. BB.
Just like Wrighty, I'm still trying to get into that Winger album. I don't know. Some parts hit me. Some other parts are like, I don't know what it is. It's got to grow on me. But I'm finally getting on that Godsmack bandwagon, BC. But Lighten Up the Sky. Finally got around to listening to that. Really good album. I think this album will definitely make the top 10 for 2023. It's really right out of the gate. It sounded fantastic. Really, really enjoy that album.
It's good.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Dylan, what do you got?
Well, I listened to one good thing and one bad thing this week, besides research for the episode and Taylor Swift.
4 bad things.
I listened to, the good thing was the latest album from a metalcore band called Currents, called The Death We Seek. Some pretty cool stuff in there. Really good metalcore stuff. There are some screamo stuff in there, seeing as it's metalcore, but still good. Great guitar work. Really solid guitar work in it. And the bad thing is, unfortunately, Avenged Sevenfold's latest single, We Love You. I don't know what is going on with those 2 singles, but they're weird.
They are.
They are like, I don't know what they're trying to go for, but I'm not vibing with it.
The album's out, right?
No, it's not out yet.
Okay, because I saw an Avenged Sevenfold album at the gallery that I didn't recognize, and I didn't think that was it.
No, I think you might have seen the stage. That's
no,
like
it was something different.
Okay, well,
might have been an import or something.
Yeah, I did not. I don't like these singles. The production's weird on them, and the decisions that they're making as a band are also strange.
Especially for them being gone so long.
Yeah, I think their last album was 2018. So I'm hoping this isn't their Chinese Democracy where it's just overbloated and awful. I'm holding out hope that the 2 singles are outliers and the rest of the album is good. Because, sometimes bands are terrible at picking singles. That happens on occasion.
Yeah.
But
I was talking with Tom Gelati from Shout Out Loudcast with that too. When the first one came out, we were chatting back and forth. When the second one came out, we're both like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So hopefully that it's just poor decisions putting out the first 2 singles. And
like the beginning,
it could only get better.
Yeah.
I guess the video for the first one was cool. With
the video was
skeletons
cool,
and shit. But like, you just gotta mute the volume and put one of their old songs on or something.
Like that beginning part of this latest single is
weird.
It's I don't even know what the fuck they're doing. It's like they're deciding to let's see if we can play our instruments the strangest way possible, and M Shadows is singing in a weird high register. I don't know. I don't know.
It's weird.
It's weird.
It is. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. You have to check it out, BC. I don't know, BB.
I know that I've heard the first one. I haven't heard the new one.
I think
so if it sounds like the first one, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's...
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like it, but it's like the same weirdness.
It's the same strange vibe.
Okay.
Alrighty, and I've pretty much been checking out the new Heaven's Edge that came out. Again, like the other guys, Winter 7. Checking out a bunch of Danny Vaughn stuff, Wasted, Taiketo, some solo stuff. And getting ready for the episode. Alrighty, so there you have it. As you can tell, Steve's listened to Heaven's Edge, Scream Machine. He was listening to some 40th anniversary of Peace of Mind and listening to some Deal for the anniversary of his passing. BB's been listening to some Winter and Godsmack. I told you.
See? I'm a little slow. I'm a little behind. I'm behind schedule. Very behind schedule.
Yeah, BB is about 3 months behind.
Yes. On everything.
I don't think it's as good as the album before it, but that's just me.
Of what?
Godsmack.
I don't either, but I do like it.
Yeah. And Dylan has the good with Dylan was Currents, Death We Seek. And the bad was the new single from Avenged Sevenfold, which I'm scared to listen to it now after.
And now we get to the ugly.
After the jury.
Yeah, the good, the bad.
As you can tell by the title episode, it's my birthday, so we picked 3 albums and a live album to review, so I had to torture my co-host here.
BC, I just wanted to say that this is actually not your birthday episode. This is an intervention. We met here. We love you. Right. We need you to get your head in the game and do something different here.
It's your birthday episode, not an anything goes episode.
I didn't know we were doing a retrospective on one artist.
Well, we'll see how we like them. I was waiting to say that. I thought about that today. I'm like, we got to do an intervention for BC.
I'm thinking, I'm not stop drinking.
No, your drinking's fine. In fact,
no.
We probably think you should drink a little more. So that
you must have picked these albums sober.
Yeah, that's my.
Like on Animal House, I'd suggest you drink heavily.
Yes. I did pick the one right out of the air because I could have picked one. But we'll get to that.
Okay.
The main guy in all these bands is going to be Zak Stevens. Also, Zak, I've been a fan of Zak ever since he took over in Savatage, which was 19... I have it here somewhere. But anyways, whatever. He was born back in 1966. Zachary Trussell. Bowling Green, Kentucky. I did not know that.
Kentucky.
He's a southern folk. He's best known for being in Savatage. He started a band after Savatage, Circle to Circle. Did multiple guest spots with many artists throughout the years. He's a few years back started Archon Angel. He's been with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and he has a degree in psychology.
Oh yeah,
but he does not practice it, unlike reports that he did. So I guess back in the day. Paul O'Neill, which was very involved back in the day with Savatage and stuff, between him and John Oliva, they handpicked him to take over for John Oliva, that's kind of weird. I'm picking this guy. You're going to take over for me. But his very first band way back in the day was Wicked Witch, which I never heard of it, but I tried to look up some stuff.
Couldn't find anything.
Couldn't find anything there. But that's who we're going to be circling around the whole episode over. Which these guys are.
And he does the. He's on the. I think he's the West Coast on the West Coast TSO. I think because I don't think I remember seeing him on.
He must be
on ours. I think he's West Coast.
Plates over here. All right, so we're going back to 1994. You see the title Savatage live. Some issue. The second issue was live in Japan '94, and then Japan '94 is the original release. Do we have that in DVD?
Yes, somewhere.
I was going to say, because I kind of remember watching it. But I couldn't remember when I was reading about it. But this version of Savatage, of course, Zak on lead vocals, Alex Skolnick on guitar, Jeff Plate on drums, the Johnny Lee Middleton on bass, and John Oliva is on this album playing piano and some rhythm guitar. So, I mean, this is just to me, I was the best version of, I love the 90s Savatage. Not that the 80s were any bad, but to me, they just kept growing, I think, and then they got, they just kept growing, and then with the addition of Zak, I think it took them to a new level. Only my opinion. But, the album starts off with a driving rocker, Taunting Cobras, off of the Handful of Rain album. Again, I think the vocals just bring it so much new blood into this. The soloing throughout this whole live album, but you got Alex on guitar talking, and that'd be great. Then they kick into Edge of Thorns, the title track off, which would be Zak's first album with the band. Then they went into Chance, which is more when they started touching into, I would say, the later albums to where they were heading with the kind of keys and
like
all.
the TSO symphonic kind of operatic stuff.
Yeah. Then they go back to track 4, another hard rocker, Nothing Going On, which is, to me, one of the classic tunes. And then they go back to Edge of Thorns album with He Carves His Stone, another good rocker. Then back to the Jesus Saves off of, I'm drawing a blank on this.
Streets.
Thank you. But again, love the vocals on this whole album. And the production is very good, I think, overall. I can hear everything pretty good. Then they tone it down a little bit for Watching You Fall, which we can deal with it for a little bit. Then they turn it back up for Castles Burning. Slow it back down for All That I Bleed, that they pretty much did for Chris Cafferty that passed away.
No. Chris Oliva.
Chris Cafferty.
Chris Cafferty's still alive.
Still alive. Chris
Sorry,
Cafferty's
oh boy.
still
Sorry.
alive and kicking.
Sorry, Chris. Handful of Rain off the title of the second album that Zak was on, which is to me I was like the band, to me, it was progressing in the right direction at this point. Then track 11 would be Sirens off an early Savatage. Then they're going to close off with one of my favorite songs, Gutter Ballet. On this CD, they did not. The second version they released had 2 more tracks on it. Our favorite track, Damien, was on there, and then they closed out with the Hall of the Mountain King, which I don't know why they don't do it on this, but who knows? This is the main part of the show I want to get to. Dylan.
Yeah, as we know, I've not been the biggest Savatage fan in the past when we have listened to some of their music. I don't know if it's maybe the live sound of it, but I definitely enjoyed listening to this album. It also might have been because it was the first album I listened to, so I was prepared to, experience what BC was offering. And I really very much had a good time listening to it. I was surprised by how little solos there were in some of the songs. I think that was probably the thing that jumped out to me the most. I think Taunting Cobras is probably the best opener of the albums we're going to be talking about. I think it was a very high energy opener. I very much liked Zak's voice right away from that. And I think my only complaint with the album is that the keyboards sound kind of cheap at times. I think that they sound a little too Casio, not full-bodied enough. They sound a little too processed for my ear, but the guitars sound great. The guitars sound fantastic on this album. I think it sounds really good for a live album. Besides the keyboards in my mind, but I really enjoyed Taunting Cobras. I thought that Sirens was really good. Handful of Rain was a fantastic one as well. Gutter Ballet, yeah, I could see. I was like, this is a bigger song for them, so I understand why they ended this album with it. But now that you mention that there were 2 other songs, I realized that I did kind of find it like a bit of a lacking song to end the album with. Like, it's a good song, but it's not like a closer in my mind. So it would have been interesting to hear those other 2 tracks to see if I would have vibed with them more. to end the album. But for the most part, I very much enjoyed this album. Even like the slower stuff that popped up wasn't terrible. I think Nothing Going On was probably my favorite song looking at the track list. I loved that. That was real high energy that I don't usually see from Savatage. So that was kind of a cool thing. Because like mostly I see kind of the TSO side of Savatage like whenever I listen to them. So it was cool seeing them have that that different vibe. But yeah, I very much enjoy Savatage live, I'll say.
Alrighty. BB.
Yeah, I remember. I'm gonna say it was probably one of the very first Kiss expos that I went with you two guys, and somebody made like a mix CD, and there a couple of the songs were on here. So we came home. Steve gave me a pile of CDs, and this CD was in it. So this is the only album that I've actually knew what it was. Listening back then, I loved it. Listening to it now, I feel I don't get a lot of live feel to it. I'm kind of a little bit opposite of Dylan. I think it's way too polished for live. You could tell like the audience is piped in. Some of the music is so fucking crystal clear. Like you swear to God it wasn't live at all. But, yeah. Being 94, 95, you would think there would be something a little bit more live feeling than this. Like I just can't believe that this was all recorded live and it sounds this good. I think it's very polished in the studio. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's me. John Oliva is in my book definitely the MVP of this album. It seems like the pianos or the keyboards, synths, whatever you want to call it, they're turned up a little bit. So it seems like they're definitely present there, Taunting Cobras, great opener, great chugging riff. The drums in that song are probably the best drum sounds on the album. Edge of Thorns, another good one. I love when the synth in the car do the solo in that one. Nothing Going On, that ending scream that Zach does in the outro solo from Alex on that song is amazing. Another one, Watching You Fall, another piano guitar. I love that song live. It really worked well live compared to the studio version. Castles Burning. I think this is Oliva's best song. I think he really carries that song with the keyboards, and then it ends with Sirens and Gutter Ballet. Two big songs from those guys. I think it was a good album. It almost feels like it just doesn't have a live feel to it. But I'm not complaining.
So he doesn't think they could be that good.
You didn't see him on screen, did you?
No. I think it was just me and you. And that was, I want to say either Wake 'em and Jalen or Poets and Madmen.
It wasn't Zach. It was that other guy. It was leaving that younger kid.
Some other dude sang. Yeah.
Really.
It was freaking killer though.
Oh yeah. Right. Steve.
All right. I remember when this came out. BC and I were just friends for a couple of years at that point. I think we became friends like around 91 or so, 90, 91. And so this was one of the bands that we kind of bonded over too. Like, when you first meet someone and they're Fettel. There's Fettel again. Fettel came out again. When you first meet someone else that is a metalhead like you're like, I knew BC forever, but we weren't like friends. So like when you meet, you're getting to know someone better. Like you're always like, well, how about Saxon, or how about Scorpions, or how about whoever. So, and this was one of the bands that we kind of like. Savatage. Oh yeah, I like Savatage. I saw them in 86 down at Rocky Glen, open up for Ted, and then I hadn't seen them until we saw them back in, it had to be 97, 98 or something. I'm gonna say probably that we saw them down in Tinks, but I do remember when this came out, and I like it. I like the feel of the album. I just the way it begins with the fade in with the with that keyboard. It's called Visions, by the way. That fade in part.
Oh,
it's on one of the albums. It's called Visions from Handful of Rain. But then when they come in with that, that's like holy shit. Like you know what's on. I didn't think the crowd sounded too pumped in because because they're doing the like when the rhythm of that is getting to go. I love Alex Skolnick's guitar tone. I forgot that he was the guitar player on this. He's fucking amazing, that guy. He is just absolutely amazing. Heavy Rocket Start, Edge of Thorns. I mean, it's probably, I'm sure it's cut down from the actual shows, but like, I love when there's no talking between the songs. Just play a song and then play another fucking song. You don't need to introduce every song, and I hate when bands do that. That's one of my pet peeves about Kissers. Like, you don't need people are there because they know you. They know the songs. Just fucking play them. Like Edge of Thorns has a really good stomp on it too. Keyboards thrown in here and there. And this Edge of Thorns, the theatricalness, the symphonicness, and in parts, but the grinding, rocking shit, the friggin' double bass drumming and shit, the fucking thumping bass with it, time changes. That's the Savatage that I come to. That's what I love about them. And I remember when Zak had come into the band, gave it and I love the John Oliva stuff too. Don't get me wrong, but it gave it a different vibe, a different kick in the ass, I think, and I think it rejuvenated them. I think you get to finally he says hello to Tokyo when he gets to Chance. You get the plinky keyboards at the beginning. They kind of sound like wind chimes, like dramatic stop and start in the beginning. But then you get like some shredding into the grinding chug. But that's how you do it. And like it's great build up in it there. It's like a short chorus, slow down, then it goes right back into the dramatic part. And then it goes right into Nothing Going On, which that song just like tears your face off. Friggin' great double bass rocker. Soloing, and I don't know who said it. Someone said that the solos I thought weren't that long in the songs. Was it you, Dylan?
Well, not that there wasn't like as many of them as I thought there were.
Right. Yeah, I think they could have stretched out a little more soloing in here, especially since it's Alex Skolnick, right? I said Fettel again, Dylan.
Did you?
Missed it. You were just walking out of the room. He Carves His Stone is really great. Zak's vocals are great there. Highlight on this one, I always love the song Jesus Saves on the Savatage
crowd
album.
participation part of that's cool.
Huh?
The crowd participation part of that's cool.
Yeah, it's and that's not like their language either. I'm just throwing that out there. But this is what I come to Savatage for, like this kind of stuff. Watching You Fall. This is a song that I don't know why TSO doesn't do. This is a song that you could just throw right into a TSO show. The beginning, it's got the piano, it's got that very smoky bar kind of feel to it. I don't know if you'd call it a ballad. It's on the mellower side. It has some like dramatic up and downs and stuff like that. Some really cool lead fills. The piano sound is great. But it's like a pause. It's like a good chance to breathe during the show. Gives Zak's vocals really stand out on this one. Fantastic solo, rather short, but nonetheless great. Really good one. Castles Burning, classic Savatage chug to that one. All That I Bleed. It takes a while for this one to get going. This is a slow burn on this one. It takes about like 2 minutes and 45 seconds for it to friggin' kick up, but the solo is so melodic on this. It's like holy shit. It's good. It's a little that first part kind of is not my favorite part of the album. Handful of Rain. Another's see I a lot of stuff, and it may be kind of a theme as we go tonight, that there's a lot of soft beginning to these songs that like I just like start out fucking rocking. And this Handful of Rain, the acoustic guitar sounds great. I really like the heavy kick in. The leads rip at about 3 minutes into the song. This could be on a fucking Cinderella album. It goes like country music in the middle of this song. I'm like, like, I mean, I knew the song from the album, but it didn't really hit me that it brings that to the song, and but the build goes nowhere though. It builds up and then it's just like it was kind of a letdown. I think it kind of goes nowhere, which I mean the first. It's got good parts in it, but it's disappointing in the end because you don't get that payoff with the build-up. Sirens, fucking fantastic, just from their, I don't know, would it be the first full album, I think, maybe? Or would it be, either the first or second album. Fantastic. Gutter Ballet, more beginning, more piano at the beginning. By this time, I'm like, come on, guys, don't get me wrong, but I just want another straight-up rocker. Once it finally gets going somewhat, it's already 2 minutes into the song. Finally, John Oliva singing here. It's good. The guitar's great in this one. The drumming is great. Great solo, but like Dylan, you were correct. Like not a great way to end the album. And then next, Howl the Mountain King. Oh, wait a minute, that's not on there. And that's exactly what I was like. Like, where's that punch in the face at the end that you want them to come back out and do another one. Like that one, it's Gutter Ballet is a song that I think belongs like in the middle of the set. Like not a set closer by any means. You need something, you need to, especially, I mean, Sirens was great. Like Handful of Rain was like, you come back up for Sirens and Gutter Ballet, it's like, okay, but it's not a closing song. It's not a closing song, and we know that with the extra tracks that they did not close the concert out with this, but like why leave the album like that? It feels unfinished. You know what I mean? It's time constraint wise is probably what they can fit. It's like an hour and it's like just under an hour, but I think you can get 65 minutes on a CD back then maybe, but
I think it was 65
minutes. So I mean they could have threw that in there, but what I was glad about this album was there were no drum solos, no guitar solos, no fucking talking to the crowd for 5 goddamn minutes wasting time. But when it rocks, it really rocks. There's some letdown in there, but like very cool Zak Stevens album, a good like pretty much a debut live album for him because they put out those other ones came out after, right? The ones that they went back and they put out the I know there's like 2 other live albums, right? But they came out after this, didn't they?
Yeah.
So like they like re-released stuff.
They
like this
re-released this one, and then there's.
But there's one stuff with John, just
Ghost
John.
in the Ruins?
It Ghost in the Ruins.
That
was Chris Oliva's stuff. That was Chris Oliva was on those, and so like that's what. But like if you go to that, you get that at the end, which you don't on this one. But I mean, there's some killer stuff on there. Alex Skolnick just absolutely tears it up on that one, though. I like it.
Alrighty, that was the first of my picks tonight. That takes out the live album, so we're gonna go in kind of a year order. So after this, Savatage Zach kind of wanted he left the band, said he wanted to spend more time with family. But then, within the same, I want to say almost a year later, right about the same time, he started another band called Circle to Circle. So my second pick's going to be Circle to Circle's third album called Burden of Truth. It was produced by Zak Stevens. And I believe this is their third album. And their first 2 albums were kind of a different band that left to go with John Oliva.
Oh, are they the ones that did the Oliva's Pain?
Oliva's Pain. So on this album, it was Paul Michael Stewart on bass and keys, Andrew Lee on guitar, Tom Drennan, not Brennan, on drums, and Evan Christopher on guitar. And of course, Zach on vocals. This one was recorded and released in October 13th of 2006, recorded in Tampa, Florida, the home of Savatage, which I thought, and it had a lot of, and Oliva helped with this album. So he takes the guy's band and he still helps it down. I don't know. I guess it's just one big family thing. This band was very, they're different, but not too different from Savatage. To me, it's more of a, overall, from the third album on is more polished. It's a polished rock, hard rock, and then it has good vocals, solo, catchy riffs. This whole album, I mean, overall, does it blow you away? I just, this is my ear house, I want to say, maybe.
Wheelhouse for your ear.
Wheelhouse for my ear. That has a little bit of everything. Melodic, solo, and the background vocals. Has a little bit of everything to me. And it's funny, Steve mentioned this last album, but they start off the album with Who Am I to Be? Who Am I to Be? Which starts off softly and then kicks into the riff with the vocals throughout the song. I think were mellow compared to some other stuffs. Second track, A Matter of Time. To me, I love the riff in the song. It gets really grabs you. It again has all the things I just mentioned. I'm not going to mention them over and over and over. I sound like a broken record. Heal You is our third track. Has some piano in this, which, I mean, keys and piano with the... I don't know how they do that live because the bass player is playing that.
Well, he's got 2 feet, doesn't he?
This would be good. Masters of Rock, man. They playing that metal. That
10 tons of metal or whatever it is?
That'd be our next one to do. Fourth track was going to be Revelations. And this song catches my eye for all the above reasons and the double bass on the drums. That sucks me in every time. Thank God Lawrence Smoke they have double bass drums.
I won in the two.
I would have been. I won in the two. I would have been sucked right in back then too. Track 5, Your Reality. This is, I mean, is more of a mid-tempo tune, I think, but very melodic and enjoyable. And then track 6, Evermore. Another enjoyable track that has all the things that catches my ear. Track 7, The Black. I don't know what they're trying to do with this, but overall, I mean, again, has all the qualities that I look for in a good album. Messiah is track 8. Track 9 is Sentence. Another, I mean, standout. Again, the vocals to me. And that's why I like all these albums. I come back, and that's why I picked all these albums today. Is the one guy, Zak Stevens. Track 10 is the title track, Burden of Truth. Another good melodic song. And then they finish off with Live as One, which, again, I don't know. It's good. I would have finished it off with one of the other songs, but they didn't call me. They didn't want me to hear my 2 cents. All right, let's get I'm gonna go for the big guy first. Steve.
All right, Circle to Circle, Burden of Truth. I remember when this came out. BC was a big advocate of these guys. I do have this on CD somewhere around here. Who Am I to Be? Piano and acoustic start. I mean, God, someone just please give me a rocker right off the bat. Then it goes into like this choppy riff, very very Savatage sounding right off the bat, like boom, like.
Grinded.
First minute in the song, you got, okay, this guy has definitely been in or influenced by Savatage. I do like the piano underneath. The vocals are great. I like when Zach sings in a lower register. I like when he will go down, not in that operatic thing, but just in like a softer type of register. This song is decent, but I don't think it's a great album opener. I think it should be something more dynamic and rocking. It's got a short little bluesy guitar part that goes back into the main riff. Really good solo, right around 3.5 minutes. It's an okay start to it, but Matter of Time is next. This is the one I think that would have been better to open the album with. Another Savatage-like riff and a great kick-in, more up-tempo rocker. There's some really good harmonic guitar parts throughout there. The guitar solo's got little like one of them little plinky ones that I kind of that I love and hate at the same time. But then it's got like a slowdown with in the middle with a cool vocal change in there. But like and it builds back into the solo. When it hits the solo, this solo friggin' cranks. I really like this one. Heal You. This song. I don't know how the writing credits are on this album, but it really feels like this could have been a leftover song from like Edge of Thorns. It's cool chugging for the verses. I like this guitar duo, though. These guys, I like them together. I think they got a great... there's a great guitar harmony part right before they go back into the chorus. Another good one for me. Revelations. This one. Not that one, and not Revelations Mother Earth either from Ozzy. Heavy start with some great leads up to the vocals. This song, I like the urgency in this song. Some excellent leads sprinkled throughout it. Absolute fucking killer solo in this song. I don't know. I have the guys' names that play guitars on here. Or no, just the one dude, right?
No, Andrew Lee and...
Andrew Lee and Evan Christopher. Okay, so I don't know. I'm assuming Andrew... it says both guitars and backing vocals, so I don't know who's the main lead guy, but whoever tears off the solo in that just absolutely fucking kills it. Band underneath, great. Your Reality, little softer vocal thing, more of a mid-tempo song. That one's okay. Evermore, cool, abrupt beginning on this one. Heavy rocker, great double bass drumming. The riff is great on this one. Killer solo again, and the time change. Headbanging my ass off on this one. The Black, and this one is for me, and I don't know why if it's called The Black, but like when it gets to the vocals right away, it has a quick start. The heavy chugging, that dun, 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 dun. It's got a Tony Martin Black Sabbath feel to it, like something plucked off of Headless Cross or TYR. Has that feel to it, and the solo is like a Tony Iommi solo too. I love this one. This one could have been a Sabbath song plucked off of one of the Tony Martin era albums with no problem at all. And for me, people, that's a good thing. I know a lot of people don't like that era of Sabbath, and I think a lot of people that don't like that era of Sabbath never really gave it a chance. I love that stuff, but it really feels like that could be plucked off of that era of Sabbath. Messiah, hard back and forth, rock, more up-tempo, great head bobber, cool double bass in the verses, some layered vocals, solo rips again. I'd like to know, I mean, not that I would know either guy, even if they walked in the room, I wouldn't know who the fuck they were, but who's ever playing the solos on this album absolutely tears it up. Sentenced, this one's good. This song is well done. This song is... There's melodicness in it. It's got the soft Zak vocals in it. Mid-tempo start. Picks up for the chorus. Great tone for the melodic guitar. Real good one. Burn the Truth, title track. This one is this is another one that I think could have been thrown on a Savatage album. But one of them, again, acoustic start, mid-tempo, dark feel to it. Mid-vocal range. The bass sounds great. Crunchy guitar tone once you get going on them. Layered vocal, another fantastic solo. But this solo's got a soaring feel to it. Really good. The song for me was okay, but the solo elevates the song so much more where it makes it not a skipper for me. Very, very Savatage-like. Live is one. Piano start with some synth underneath. Come on, guys. Really? Another one that could be plucked off of or thrown onto a Savatage album, Zak era, like maybe Handful of Rain this time. I do like how intense some of these songs are. The chorus is pretty good. The intensity goes back up for the solo with the bass, with the band killing it underneath. Then it goes to piano and solo vocals in the last minute of the album to the end. Doesn't end with a thud, but it doesn't end with a yeah either. But I forgot how much I like this album. I played the shit out of this when I got it because when I put it back on. And you could ask BC, I'm like, oh, circle. But I wanted you to pick the other one, the blue one. There's was it the second one, I think? Maybe the one that's got the blue, the bluer cover. I'm like, pick that one. Then he picked this one, which I'm glad he did. Because I forgot how much I played the hell out of that album.
I took a barrel, just reached in and...
I like it.
Alrighty.
Did you think I was going to shit on it?
I was a little nervous there. That's what I was
We're not there yet.
I'm going to go to the real wild card. Dylan.
Yeah, I think this one, for the most part, suffered because of the placement of it on the playlist that my dad gave out, because this was the last album that I listened to. And at this point, I started getting the gist of what was going on with this album picks. And I'm like, oh my God, it's all the same guy. So, I was very burnt out by then, because I was listening to all these straight through. and I'm like, I like a lot of what's going on, but like I'm starting to hear the same things over and over. Is the issue? And it didn't help that "Who Am I to Be" was the opener of this album. I think it's a terrible opener. I agree with you. I think it's too slow of an intro. I mean, like, it does eventually go somewhere, but like it
takes too long to get there.
It takes too long to get there, and that's probably like my running problem. Like you had said with like some of the Savatage stuff as well, the live album. Like, it just like I want the rocking. Like when they rock, it's awesome. That's like I'm into it, and that's like, you know, Revelations I really enjoyed. Like,
But
you
when
know,
they're mellow.
yeah, but like they always go to the like the soft plaintive stuff, and I'm like, it's good, but like that's not the vibe that I want right now. I want to rock out. I want to bang my head to some awesome music.
What do you want to do with your life? I want to rock.
So I think if maybe I listened to this before the other ones, or I listened to it with more of a variety of other songs surrounding it, I think I would have enjoyed it better. But I have to be honest with, you know, my experience with the album. It wasn't my favorite of the night, and I guarantee it was because it was the last one there. Like, you know, like everything just started kind of blending together at that point. And, you know, I do remember certain parts, like in, you know, Revelations in the Black, like that I really stuck out to me.
Well, the reason that was last in the playlist is because when I was prodding BC, I need your albums, like he picked the live one. They're the order that he picked them. So, well, with the exception, because Archon Angel wasn't even out yet when he picked the list. So what I did was he can add it from iTunes. The 2 songs that were released were on there.
Yeah.
So then once it was released, it filled in. But the Circle to Circle one was the last one that he gave me that was going to be. So that's why it ended up in last on the list.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know which one to pick.
Right.
And I think also it's not bookended by like a good opener and a good closer. I think that it fails for that reason, because you want to start strong and you want to end strong, but the strong stuff is in the middle on this album. Like, you know, I agreed with you. I think A Matter of Time would have been a better opener. It would have had more energy. It would have gotten you into the album with a lot more of a friendlier face. But yeah, there's good stuff on it, but I was very burnt out on Zak Stevens by the time I got to this album.
Too much Zach.
Too much Zak. Yeah, I overdosed on Zak.
Alrighty. BB.
I'll help you out, buddy.
All right.
I'll help you out, because I'm gonna actually carbon copy what Dylan just said about getting tired about an album later on in the show. But Circle to Circle. So I'll compare it to the live album. This has more meat and potatoes than the live album. When I say John Oliva is the MVP of the live album because all you hear is the keyboard, at least this album, the guitar work is heavier. It's got more meat and potatoes. Even Zak Stevens' vocals on the first song, even though it's not a great opener, I think it's all right. His raspiness, the different tone that he sings in, sells this album for me, because I don't think it sounds like a Savatage album. I think he sings lower and different, and I think the guitar work is a lot better than the Savatage albums. So Who Am I to Be? And you know, BC, I'm a sucker for piano and guitar on top of each other. I'm already sucked in. I already love this song. And like I said, Zak's vocals are nice and raspy, different sounding than Savatage, and I think the solo is fantastic. A Matter of Time, another great guitar work throughout the song. Like Steve said, maybe that could have been the opener. I love the band vocals at the chorus, and then the outro solo is fan-freaking-tastic. Heal to You, more guitar and piano. I'm already sucked in, and like I said, I'm digging this album out of song 3. I'm already a fan of it. Revelations, I love how this song, you know, at the 4 spots gets a little heavier. The solo is killer. It's probably one of my favorite songs on the album. And then like this perfect hat trick of Evermore, The Black, and Messiah. Like you said, like it crosses the T's and dots your I's. Like the songs are great. The solos are great. They have abrupt endings. It's just a great hat trick of songs. Sentence, this is where we go, like I like to say, like that roller coaster. We get a little soft.
Are you on the right album?
Circle to Circle?
Yeah. Okay.
You don't think Evermore, Black, and Messiah are like the hat trick?
You're on the wrong album. You're looking at Machines of Grace right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I already put the page down here.
Jesus.
I'm like, okay, I apologize because I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? But I already
you're
put my
BB.
page down.
You just ignore
I was
him.
on the next one. I apologize.
You don't listen to a word that man says.
I was on the wrong album. Sorry.
Oh man,
You shut him
CBC. He didn't want me to keep plugging that album.
I'm
you
sorry.
know?
I killed your momentum.
So Sentence, yeah, right. Sentence. This is where the album gets a little fuzzy, but you get that roller coaster. And another thing is, at least they don't all sound the same. Like you're getting little softer parts in different things. It's not all like Dylan said sometimes, because this song was at the end of his playlist. It kind of like blended in. It all started sounding the same in that. At least this one's a little bit different compared to the whole album, because finally there's like that little softerness to it. And it gets heavy towards the solo, and then it backs down again. Burden of Truth. I love that crazy... I have written down back and forth, but it's not back and forth. Like, during the later part of the chorus, they'll start singing, and then they'll sing like a...
there's like a kind of like a call and response.
Like it's an echo. Like, I don't know if they sing like a sentence, and then like the echo starts the sentence, and they're already... ahead of sentence. That's a really cool part of that song, which was really, really cool. I really loved that. I kept playing that part over and over. I thought that was so cool. And then, just like I think everybody else, Live as One, another roller coaster that I wish it ended on the heavier note instead of more of the acapella note, I'll say, or the lighter side. I wish it kind of ended in the heavier part of the song. But I thought this album was fantastic. I never heard it before. I heard of Circle to Circle. I remember you guys talking about these guys. I may have listened to one or two songs back in the day, but I really enjoyed this album. I thought it was a really, really good album.
Okay, so that's everybody right now. Mm-hmm. All right, so then my numbers are...
Unless Dad wants to talk about the album that he was looking at.
We'll get to that
Machines of Grace?
We'll get to that one.
We're going to get to that one. All right, so that's my first two picks for the episode. We're going to go to the gym song this week. I'm going to pick Staying in the Same Family, because I must have been trapped in a box listening to all this stuff. I couldn't get out of it. So I'm going to pick a track off John Oliva's Pain, 2010 release Festival, with Living on the Edge.
The only way you know, about 1,000 miles left to go. Moving faster towards disaster. Out of the lines of road, got your eyes in a hole. Still push onward, quicker the pace, it's the thrill that you chase. Lost you wonder, you've been living too fast. Since you began, like you're down to the cross, by your feet it ends. Living on the edge of time. You living on the edge of time. Living on the edge of time. You living on the edge of time. Can't stop 'cause it's too late now. Hit the pedal, you're throwing down. Earth starts winding, white lines blinding. The road never ends, it just twists and it bends. Nothing stops you. The fog in the haze got your mind in a daze. Try to break through. You've been living too fast. Since it all began, like you're down to the cross, by a blink your eye, there's a dead end sign. Now you're at the end of the line. Time to wake from this crazy dream. Hit the brakes, you start to scream.
All right, that was John Levis Payne with Living on the Edge. So we're going to play some hitting gems from people. BB, what do you got?
All right, I'm going to pick one that was released as a single on March 24th of this year, which is crazy. Somebody released a single that's actually a live song. But the band is called Red Devil Vortex. And the song is called Villains and Kings Live. And let me tell you, if you want to hear some kid rip it up, these guys are from they kind of congregated around Los Angeles a couple of years ago, and they released a bunch of singles, but this kid tears it the fuck up. Definitely check these guys out, Red Devil Vortex. And like I said, the latest single that they just released is Villains and Kings, the live version. Fan-frickin-tastic. Sick fucking bananas, right?
Is it from a live album?
Sick.
It's only a single.
Oh, it's only a single.
Single.
So I wonder if it's like a live album.
Yeah, I wonder.
Do they have anything else out?
They
Well, obviously they must.
They have one album and then like a bunch of like EP singles.
Red Devil Vortex.
And see if they're under live album, it's only one. The live album and it's single. So.
Red Dragon Cartel.
I got it.
All right, Dylan, what do you got for us?
Here's a band that you probably haven't heard from in a while, Dad. Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
Yes.
I was just thinking about them yesterday, actually.
Do you know what that is?
What is it again?
Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
Is it that movie band?
It's a show band.
Oh.
BB, you want to fill it in?
They're from the Muppets.
Yep, they have
The Muppet Band.
They have their own show out, and they recorded a bunch of covers for it, and one of the covers is none other than "Rock and Roll All Night" from Kiss. Yeah. So if you want to listen to Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem perform Kiss, you can. It's on their
Animal.
the Muppets Mayhem, and actually in one of the Muppets movies, Dave Grohl played the replacement for Animal. So
yeah,
but yeah. Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem covering Rock and Roll All Night.
Interesting.
Love it. My favorite gem ever.
Yeah, thank you. Very proud of that one.
All right, Steve.
All right. When we were on Monsters of Rock Cruise, Jeff Soto Band played the pre-party, and then they played on the boat. So that was their two shows. On the first show, he did like stuff from Wet and Soto Band, Soto Ellefson he did, and I thought it was fantastic. But what impressed me was, and I got to talk to the guy for a little bit on the boat, was Jeff Scott Soto's keyboard player, and he played guitar too. His name is BJ. I don't know what his last name is. And I was talking with him, told him, he looks just like Freddie Colonna.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Because I said to Grands, I said, he looks like the guy that put the tint on your windows. He said, holy shit, he does. So anyway, I was talking with Sonny about it. I said, dude, I'm like, that dude needs to fucking sing in a band. He said, well, he does. I'm like, oh, what is it? So I looked him up. The band is called Spectra. It's Spektra. And they put an album out in 2021 called Overload. And it is absolutely a melodic hard rock fucking gem. If I knew this album was out in 2021 when we did our yearly records, it would have been in my top 5. Overload.
Strong words from a strong man.
I'm telling you, I listened to it when we got back. I'm like, because I forgot what Sonny had said, so I texted him, what was the name of that guy's band? And it's fantastic. So check it out. The guy's voice is fucking fantastic. He friggin' it was great. And I would love to see these guys. And so check them out. So I got Spectra, and the album is called Overload.
All right. And while I was surfing, getting ready for this episode, of course, somebody in the same family came up with a brand new single. It just came out this May 1st.
Oh, boy.
Chris Cafferty from Savatage. Just a single. This ain't nothing but an album or nothing, but the song's called Mayday. Very different, I want to say.
Chris Cafferty. Cafferty is John Cafferty in the Beaver Brown Band.
I like John Cafferty in Beaver Brown Band. So that's why I was saying he was dead before. He was.
There you go. You were channeling.
I was channeling his inner self. But very different, angry vocals. I mean, it's very.
Be so angry, BC.
Totally different feel to it. Ripping solo part. I mean, it's typical Chris, I think. He always kind of does.
His stuff's a little odder.
This is odder.
Odder than odder.
Yeah, but cool. I don't know,
yeah.
But all right, so that's what I have, and BB has from this March Red Devil Vortex Villain and Kings Live. Dylan had Dr.
Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
Okay.
Can't believe you two don't love.
I was listening and talking about it. I forgot to write it down. And Steve has a gem off of the cruise that we're signed with Spectra with the album Overload. Great. Alrighty.
There we go.
So that's our hitting gems, people. So now we're going to get into the second half of the birthday episode with the next album, year-wise, will be Machines of Grace, self-titled album that was released in 2009 with out of Boston, Massachusetts. These guys were from. I mean, the vocalist is going to be a new guy for you never heard of tonight, Zak Stevens.
Never heard of him.
Is he new?
He's a new guy. He's a new guy.
Did they just invent it?
And then on drums, Jeff Plate, which we all know from Savatage, Matt Liff from guitars, and Chris Raposa on bass. I'm probably killing your names. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, Matt left. Chris Raposa. Yeah,
Okay.
that was right.
Alrighty, but this is another side band that Zak Stevens started, and he called up a friend of his, Jeff Plate from Savatage, Trans-Siberian Orchestra days. But to me, out of all the picks tonight, this is the more straightforward rock, I think. Not too much craziness. You're not going to get the crazy vocals. You're going to get, ripping riffs, good background vocals, but none of that Trans-Siberian stuff and show stuff.
He left the Philharmonic at home.
He left them all home. But the album starts off with the song Just a Game. I mean, it starts off a little mid-tempo and then into a heavy riff. I know Steve don't like he wants to come in right at the heavy riff, so I guess forward it 10 seconds. But the mid-tempo, a solid solo on the song, just totally. Then Psychotic is the second song, like a kind of crunchy grindage. I mean, the guitar is just. I really love the guitar in this whole album. And this song's Psychotic. It's the lyrics are pretty much about most of the women I dated. And then some more strong soloing on this album. Track 3, Fly Away, has like a different, like a cool drum start. totally that catches my ear. And then a chunky riff, which, I mean, it just catches you. And of course, all this is Zak Stevens, that new guy on vocals. Track 4, Innocence. Got the strong acoustic start, riff and song. I like the background vocals in it. But overall, cool tune. Track 5, The Moment. Another, probably about mid-tempo, the riff and the song, but then the solo is a standout in this one. Track 6, Prelude. Acoustic start, kind of have like Indian feel in the little part of it, and then into a heavy riff and the upbeat chorus. 7, Between the Lines. And another song, good guitars. To me, the standout in this is the ride cymbal. You got to have a ride cymbal, and this is probably the most standout ride of all the albums I think we're going to talk about tonight. Okay, track 8. This is where, I mean, at least it's later in the album. This time, it's a typical slow tune. It's okay. Good guitar work in it. Like I said, the whole album has great guitar work from Mr. Matt Neath. Track 9, Breakdown. Mid-tempo song. Good background vocals. A little solo part, and then there's a little out solo, which I dig. Track 10, Soul Fire. Mellow start, and then it kicks into a good riff between the riff and the drums going. Totally love it. Track 11, Promises. Another good tune off the album. I like the guitar tone on this. Anyway, track 12, Bleed. Another cool riff with the drums together. Again, the more ride cymbal in this, which I love the ride cymbal. And another great solo off this. 13, Better Days. Another strong riff. But this song overall, to me, has more of a radio feel than anything off this other. The rest of the album, this has the more radio-ish part. And the solo again. Come on. And again, I don't know why I banned. This is the only thing I would say is the down part of this album is they finish off the album. They should have just put it as an acoustic or a bonus. Is the this time acoustic version of it, which they already did it on the album, and we heard it once. I agree with other people. You finish off on a high note. But this is a band I just pretty much discovered not too long ago, probably. I think I was doing something. What's this? I think I was looking for stuff for this. And it came up, you may also like. But Machines of Grace. I think they were pretty much a one and done. So, Dylan, what do you think?
This was the album that I definitely vibed with the most, probably because of what you said, where there wasn't the Savatage of it all as prevalent on this album. And I think Just a Game is also a very strong opener. Mm-hmm. I think that's like, you got the hard rock right out the gate, and a lot more hard rock just throughout the album, a lot less mid-tempo songs that I really enjoyed. Of course, you have like throwaways like Prelude, which is literally just like a filler track, so you could kind of ignore that. And I mean, we didn't really need the, like you said, the acoustic version at this time. I didn't even listen to it because I thought it was a bonus track. I didn't know
you didn't miss much.
I didn't know it was an actual track. But like Bleed is fantastic on this album.
BB probably loved it, but you didn't miss much.
I loved Bleed. Soul to Fire was great. Breakdown was really cool. There was Psychotic. I just thought that there was a lot more for me to enjoy on this album. And I think it was because there wasn't as much mid-tempo on this. There was the more driving rock that I wanted from the Savatage stuff and from, Circle to Circle. There was more of that on this. And the guitar work, again, fantastic. I mean, none of these albums have had bad guitar work or vocals. It's just I think that some of the arrangements aren't to my liking, whereas with Machines of Grace, it's more in my wheelhouse for what I look for with this kind of music. I think that this one, this was the second one that I listened to, so I also didn't have the burnout factor, which is great. But yeah, I think that this is probably the album that I came away with the most enjoyment from, of all the albums that we're talking about tonight.
Cool. BB.
And then the others, the opposition.
A sigh is not a good way to start.
I love you, buddy.
Oh, boy.
No. Just like Circle to Circle.
Circle to Circle.
Circle to Circle. I did not know of Machines of Grace. But let me tell you, the first 3 songs, like, wow, this album's going to be fucking amazing. And then I don't know what happens. I think I got the Dylan factor of, oh my God, all these songs fucking sound the same. And I even stopped and like listened to them a day later. And maybe it's the tired factor of Zak Stevens' vocals. I don't know. But this album lost me like horribly. Like there was even parts I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck to write down. I said, I'm just gonna fucking skip it. And it was that, and I don't know what it was. I don't even know why. But just the game, it has that electric, acoustic, groovy guitar start, which was really, really cool. It was almost like a mix between like old like Cinderella and Great White. It was like really, really cool. The solo was killer. Psychotic. Probably one of my favorite songs of the night. I love Zak's vocal tones through this whole song, and there's even a little like crazy distortion at the chorus that they use on his vocals, which were fucking fantastic. And that's exactly what I thought of. I go, this song fits you like a glove. Fly Away. Love that choppy, gritty guitar sound that was on this. The background vocals at the chorus were great. And I think from Innocence down, it just like I think like even maybe it's me, maybe it's like where my like Circle to Circle had some like good riffs, some crazy guitar work, you know, kind of like where my ear wants to go. And I think when I get to like the acoustic, I'm like, because I listened to the live album last, assuming we would do that and do the live one last, because I wrote down for all that I bleed. I'm like, okay, BC, I'm sick and fucking tired of these slow songs, and I'm the slow song guy. So it just I miss the grittiness, the meats and potatoes, the guitar work. It just I just got tired from this album, and maybe it is because of the same vocals. I don't know. But the Moment is slower tune. And see, now this is what I wrote. This would be a great song if it was 1988. It would definitely work on the radio. And I don't remember what song you said, but I thought The Moment would definitely fit on the radio. So you got the prelude into Between the Lines. Has that Between the Lines, it was a mid-tempo rocker with some school screaming vocals at times I enjoyed. This time you go back to the soft vocals again. You have a very soulful solo, and the outro solo is really, really good in that one. Breakdown, there's some more good band vocals, more great guitar work. Then I wrote the Bleed, picks up a little bit, the solo is cool, and then I just got absolutely fucking tired. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, and I'm like, you know what? I love BC, and he'll understand.
This Black Friday coming up. Put this back in.
Okay.
Alrighty.
You can't like everything, BC. Say it.
You can't.
Okay.
All right, Steve, take us home.
Okay, this was when I'm like, what the fuck did you pick, BC? I'm like, what the fuck is this? Then I put it on. I was like, never heard of it before.
Me neither.
Not, one of those that, so it was pretty much a fresh listen for all of us, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's like not one that BC had lived with for, for years or anything like that. So we're all pretty much in the same boat on this one, pretty much. Just a game. It's got like that swampy guitar start there, like with some bluesy leads underneath. It's got a good like swampy grooving riff in it. It's cool. The bass sounds great. I'm surprised you didn't pick up on it, BB.
No, I did. I said that's
no. But this could be on Badlands' Voodoo Highway album.
Oh,
that's what I picked up. I'm like, holy shit, this could be plucked right off of fucking Badlands' Voodoo Highway. Choppy feel to it. The great wah pedal solo. It's an odd beginning song, but I don't hate it. Like it's a better choice than the other ones we've scene. It fades out though. Come on, guys. Psychotic. I instantly thought of BC's past love life in this one for sure. It's got like a frantic feel right from the beginning. It's got like a very cool loose riff and bass that plays into the verses. This song fucking rocks. Another great cool wah pedal solo. This guy, like second song, like this guitar player fucking rips. Jeff Plate's drums are fucking fantastic on there. The drum fills, fantastic. Fly Away, cool drum intro. The drum is it's different. It's cool. I was like, that's different. And so far, I really like the guitar and the bass tone on this album so far. The heavy groove for the main riff is great. This goes down. It kind of goes down a little bit for the verse. But there's like some good, like, it's not like a driving double bass thing. It's like a loose double bass drumming. You can tell it's not a single pedal. You can tell it's double bass, but it's cool. It's not like it's just, it's different, but it's very cool. Fits the song. It was like something different that you don't really hear in a lot of songs. This one, the band, I like that this one has the band seeming to sing the background vocals and not just Zach. And Zach's vocals are last. I like when it's not just Zach, because like all these other ones, there's not a lot of background vocals on a lot of this stuff. It's just Zach, and there's some layered Zach, but there's actual background vocals on this that I like, and it's a definite change of pace for what we've been used to for the first three albums we've talked about. Solos section's really good, a little short, great song. Innocence. This one has like more of a pop feel to me. It's got an acoustic groove that is actually kind of cool. Like a little upper tempo feel. Background vocals, once again, are good on this one. I like that. It gives us a little break in the action from Zach. I'm not the pre-chorus I don't like, though. I don't know. But the chorus is cool, but the pre-chorus, I'm like, ugh, guys, just like cut that part the fuck out. Melodic bluesy solo. The moment, they slow it down a little bit here. Power ballad type song. It's okay. Prelude. It's actually, I actually don't hate the prelude. I don't fucking hate it.
Wow.
Which is unusual for me, and it fucked up the numbers on the because I have this like between the lines. Heavy Chapman feel to, but listen to the bass in this song, freaking fantastic. Song's middle of the road, but the bass is great. More of a straightforward song. This time back to a little mellow one. Zach heartfelt vocals, blah blah blah. Pretty much a skipper for me. I bet BB loves this one. I wrote down there. Breakdown, back to business, heavy riff. Man, the bass tone in this album is just fucking killer. Good heavier type song. I like the finger plucking sound on the guitar. Solo's fantastic. One of them like takeoff type solos that I always like. Band is kicking ass underneath it. Soul on Fire, plinky guitar start, a heavy riff. I wish the solos were longer on this album though. Like they were maybe like 3 or 4 bars longer, just to give the guy a little bit of room to stretch out on some of these solos. But I think some of them lend themselves that if I don't even know if these guys ever played live, because half the bands anymore don't. They just do an album and they don't play live. But I think some of these songs lend themselves to stretching some of these solos out. I'm sure it's a thing in production that that probably just get chopped down in the studio. Promises, good feel to this one. Kind of run of the mill, because I'm kind of getting a little fatigued at this point. Bleed, heavy start, chugging for the main riff. I'm glad we don't. In this one, I like it because we don't get the slow. You get the a lot of them. There's a lot of formula to these albums. This heavy riff, lower for the verse, and then back up for the chorus, and you know what I mean. This one is just straight rocks right through. Choppy feel through there. Great rocking underneath the solo. Plenty of like fretboard shit going on there. Killer. Better Days. Another run-of-the-mill one. I just... and I literally wrote down, don't get me wrong, but I'm just getting fatigued here of the formula of some of these songs. This one has a little poppy feel to it. It's not bad. It's pretty good as an album ender, but like I was ready for this album to be over like good 2 songs ago. this time acoustic, I'm on the BB boat for that one. I was just like, I'm good. I'm good. But I like the tone on it. It is more straightforward rock. You don't get that the keyboards, the symphonic type stuff. It's more straightforward rock, and I enjoyed it. It just, I think it could be 2 or 3 songs shorter. Make it like between a 40 and a 45 minute album. You would fucking have fucking perfection there.
Alrighty. So that was the third pick, Machines of Grace. We're going to finish off the night with the most nervous one for me. This is the newest one. But it's going to be this new guy to rock and roll. Zak Stevens started this band called Archon Angel, which 2021, their first album came out. I was surprised. I thought, because his trademark is usually doing an album with the band and then doing something else. But here they are. They announced this year that it was going to come out with the second album. It came out April 14th of this year, Archon Angel 2. With I'm not even good at pronounce these guys' names because they're going to kill them. Anybody else have them written down?
I don't have them written down, no.
I don't. Nick.
Zak Stevens is in this band.
Who? Never heard of him.
This is this new
Steve
guy.
Zakins.
They apparently, again, all these songs that Zak and bands he plays with, he's formed this when Aldo Longel and Zak making Avalon's album, which is another album that he was on. And if you get into it, like I did, and discovered he's on fucking shit ton of albums. We just talked about who
that's very.
He's like another Jeff Scott Soto. We were talking about Jeff Scott Soto.
Okay,
he's on a ton of shit.
I'm sitting there going, not as much as that, but
no, but
he's
so
on,
enough to have
comparable.
a couple more birthday episodes.
Oh,
just Zak Stevens stuff.
No. I mean, I was gonna pick. I said no.
If we gave Sonny a birthday episode, he would have Jeff Scott Soto show.
See, Sonny, take it out. Come on, do it. Marco Lazzarini on drums. Alexandro Del Vecchio.
Alexander, he's the guy from Frontiers.
Yeah,
Is it?
Alexandro Del Vecchio.
Okay. Yeah,
He's on Laverne and Shirley, wasn't he?
He's on the keys and piano, and
Yeah, with Twiggy.
I mean, it's only a 4-piece band, which I'm very surprised at that. But I mean, I like their first album that came out. It's different. It's very. I always bitch about Frontiers, how everything sounds the same.
It's not a typical Frontier sounding album.
I don't think it is.
Band.
I think it stands on its own. I mean, and again, it has the things that catch my ear. Number one being his new guy, Zak Stevens. But I mean, just the playing. I mean, I think this is a little step up from the last album. The first album was good. I think they kind of progressed a little bit. And you get on the world of YouTube, which is the only thing I really do anymore. Catch these guys doing live shit off of that 70,000 pounds of metal or whatever.
Oh, they were on that?
They're on there.
Oh, really?
It was fucking good. That's what I said. They'd be good for. I don't know if they'd be good for.
We could never get the rest of the crew to go to that cruise.
Nah, that's some hardcore shit. But you know what? There's some good shit in there.
There is.
Or Lizzie Borden was on it. Come on.
I thought you said good shit.
Yeah. Never heard of her.
That's it. Now look what you made me do. Anyways, I mean, overall, there's 10 tracks on this new album, which combined, of course, the vocals of Zak Stevens. The musicianship is to me outstanding on this. Again, it's not. I bash Frontiers, and I mean, they should ban me from talking about anybody on Frontiers. But I think this stands out in all the releases of Frontiers because, unfortunately, they have some good stuff. It's just, I don't know, it's the same producer on those bands. They all sound the same to me. That's the only negative thing about Frontiers.
It's that Alexander Del Vecchio. He
plays the keys.
A lot of that stuff
He
sounds...
plays the keys and piano, and he does on everybody's album.
And he writes a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, so I mean...
I can understand why so much of the same thing could lead to burnout for some people.
This guy's brand new. What are you talking about? Hey, when I do something, I hit it hard.
Apparently.
I woke up to one morning, Jack and Coke was tasting good. I drink it all day long.
And that was the day you picked these albums?
No, they were already picked. that was him and Kevin Williams that day.
Drink for drink with Kevin Williams. Good times.
Check out his podcast,
Check
an
out his
Obscuria
podcast.
podcast.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Alrighty. I mean, I'm going to say the same thing for every goddamn song this, so I threw this out there as this being the newest thing to me. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. To me, I just said, it covers all the bases of my earlobe. It's 10 tracks. Wake of Emptiness. Avenging the Dragon. Fortress, which was the single-day release. To me, a song that really stands on this album for me is Quicksand. That totally grabs my ear. Track 5, Away from the Sun. Track 6 is Afterburner. Track 7, I Will Return, which is what I told people on Monsters Rock this year. Track 8, One Last Reflection. Track 9 is Shattered, and then they finish off at Lake of Fire, which, again, not too bad, but... Dylan.
Again, I think this is a terrible opener of Wake of Emptiness. Again, with the slow start. Like, what? Why is he obsessed with the slow start?
Savatage, they start off a few handful of rain, and then they kick in.
Like, it
seems like a trademark of his.
Yeah, it takes way too long for anything to get going on this song. And, like, the same thing with Avenging the Dragon. Like, it's one of those where it's, like, the soft, like, verses, and then the kind of tempo pickup during the choruses and the solo. But then you get to songs like Quicksand and Afterburn and One Last Reflection, and I like those quite a bit. Like, those are really good, awesome solos. And yeah, I listened to the production of this, and I'm like, oh, I wonder who did. Oh yeah, definitely Frontiers Records. It's not as Frontier sounding, but it still has that like over the top kind of like production of like everything is like up front, very epic sounding that I associate with Frontiers. I didn't mind it either, but like I don't. I think it sounds like it came from Frontiers, not as much as other Frontiers stuff, but it still has that Frontiers stamp on it in my ear. This was the second album I listened to, so I was starting to get burned out, but I wasn't quite there yet. I think that Lake of Fire was a strange closer. Like, One Last Reflection, I think, would have been a really good closing song for this album. I thought Lake of Fire was going to be the Meat Puppets cover, but it was not. But, like, when this band gets rocking with, Quicksand and Afterburn and stuff like that, that's when I'm into it. And I think this sounds the best. It does. Like, I do like the production on this album probably the best, and that it's definitely because it's the most recent. So musical production has come a little ways since 2010 was the album that came out before this and in your list, right? Because Machines of Grace was
2009.
2009, yeah. So that was over 20 years between then and now. So there's going to be a lot of
technology.
Not over 20 years, under 20 years, but quite a bit of advance. So yeah, I did enjoy this album. I think that again, I would just order it differently. I would maybe open with Quicksand. I don't know if you want to like blow your load so early, but Wake of Emptiness is not the vibe to open the album for me, and Lake of Fire is not the vibe to end the album for me.
I agree.
That's my biggest takeaway from the Zak Stevens hour. He needs to learn how to order the album correctly, and maybe a little more variety with the song sequencing and the song creation in terms of like the soft, loud,
I will email him tomorrow. Say, hey,
yeah, let him know.
For Archon Angel 3, we will.
Yeah, you need to open with a rocker. You can't open it with.
Send us the tunes. We will send back how you put it up.
Or like if you do like the thing that Dad loves, where it's like the opening track is like the piano thing, and then it's like maybe like a 1 minute thing, and then it goes into a really hard rocking thing. Like even that would I think be better than Wake of Emptiness. But I know you hate when they do that.
I know.
But I think it would have worked a little better than this. Just my opinion. but not bad.
All right, BB.
Alrighty. Not bad, BC. This one wasn't bad. Archon Angel. Wake of Emptiness. Even though it starts slower, it picks up at the solo. It has potential. I thought the solo was really, really good. Avenging the Dragon. There's like cool riffs throughout the whole song. I love how there's like bells and almost like an orchestra underneath some of the parts in that song, which are really cool. Quicksand, like everybody has said so far, that's nice and fast. Love the pinch harmonics in the certain part. Once again, you get like a heavy solo with an orchestra behind it, which is kind of cool. Away from the Sun, I love the guitar tone and distortion they use at the solo. Afterburner, more cool pinch harmonics. I really, really like that one. Zak's vocals on this are really, really good. Another one, I Will Return. That song is really good. I just wish the solo was so good. I think it was only about 12 to 15 seconds. I wish the solo was longer. And then like Dylan has said, Lake of Fire. It's not a great closer, but it's a great vocal performance. You know, it shows Zak's range, if you will. But yeah, definitely the arrangement of this song, of this album, isn't the greatest. It's almost like a shitty, like it's almost like a sandwich that has like shitty bread on it.
Yeah, the bread got soaked up.
The bread got wet or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? The stuff in the middle is really good, and then like the bread
soggy bread.
Soggy bread
meat's
at the
good.
ends.
Yeah.
But
The meat's good.
the meat's good and the bread is soggy. Okay?
Too much dressing. So
Yeah, something in there.
That's
But no, that I enjoyed it because I took the bread off and just ate the middle. I just ate the stuff in between the bread.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, take us home.
All right. Their first album I thought was good, and I was looking forward to this because they really I think Afterburn was the first song that they
Fortress.
or Fortress was the first one.
That's a good.
And I was looking forward to it, and then I hit play and Wake of Emptiness came on, and I was like, what the fuck, like.
You know these slow fucking starts, BC.
Will someone please open an album with just straight up rocker? Please, I fucking beg you.
I will pay you.
Like, it's like a minute 20 before you get some fucking electric guitars. I mean, come on, guys. Once it gets going, it's not bad, but it's like right off the bat, it's too much of this operatic type shit. I mean, I like that stuff, but I can only take so much of it. And I said I can't take it right there. The solo is really cool. I'm just... This is the worst opening song of any of the albums we talked about tonight. I was like, what the fuck?
I'd agree.
And then I'm like, now I'm dreading listening to the rest of this fucking album. I'm like, fuck. Like, here we go, BC. And then Avenging the Dragon comes on. Right off the bat, boom, it rocks. I'm like, okay. And then my second thought is, where the fuck was this for the first song? Cool grindage for the verse, dual guitar solo, and then some... It separates for like a single. There's like a dual guitar solo, then it separates, and you get a single guitar solo. I really like this one. Fortress, good intense start, choppy guitar tone. Once again, we go down for the verse. Come on, people. The drums sound really good. I really like the chorus, and this has background vocals again, which I like because it's not just Zak. It just breaks it. It just breaks it up. The solo was killer. This one really rips. And I think Dylan said it, the solos are too short on this album again, but I really like this one. Quicksand, this one I like. Up-tempo vocals, grinding for the verses. I love the pace of it. The vocal cadence is great. The layered vocal parts are cool. But I like when they do the layered vocal parts on these albums. I like Zak's vocals when it comes down from that and it's just him. I like that transition where you get that rather than just him all the way through. I like that transition back to him. That's probably when I like his vocals the best. Like when you get like a bunch of layered stuff and then just the single vocal. I really like that. The solo's killer with the band killing it underneath. The bridge right after the solo's got some cool crash cymbals that I know BC's likes that goes with the beat. Then right back to layered vocals. The song kicks ass. Great grinding as it fades out. Away from the Sun. boom, another one that goes right into an intense riff with some cool synth in this one. I don't mind it. It's not too symphonic on this one. Once again, we go down for the verse. Come on, guys, please. The bass is out front on this one. Good head bobber though. It has sort of a poppy feel during the lower part of the verses that is very honeymoon sweet. Like there's a couple just parts in this. It feels like it came like from a honeymoon suite album with the keyboards in the background. But the riff picks up. It's really good. Sort of a takeoff solo. Short on the solos again on this one. Let's stretch them out, people, please. Come on, Alexander Del Vecchio. Let's stretch out some of these fucking solos here. Afterburn. Another one that gets right to it. See, I like these ones. There's no bullshit in the beginning, no nothing. It just goes right into it. I'm digging the grindage on this album. Killer drums, plenty of crash cymbals, more cool background vocals. I like that. I do like that. Monster riff on this song. Freaking monster riff. This song is absolutely fucking killer. Solo's too short, but I think they're hitting a stride in this album for me now. I'm just like, okay, now I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Okay, now I'm looking forward to the next song rather than after that first song, dreading the next fucking song. I Will Return, fast riff with some cool synth. Another up-tempo song, straight up rocker. Good pre-chorus, great chorus. There's really no solo in this one. I think BB said it's just like a single note kind of thing that goes on for a little bit. That's just like they could have just had a little shredding part there that I think would have did a little better. Then it goes right back into the song. That part of the song was disappointing, but another decent track. One Last Reflection. This one I really like. Cool, like dual guitar start. Goes into a stomp, more crash cymbals in there. Up tempo for the verses, which that hooks me on these albums. When you get that up tempo for the verses, pre-chorus is great. Vocal cadence for the verses is a must for me. Like some of them, it really gets me into a song. Another kick-ass solo in this one. This one's a little longer, which I'm like, okay, good. This one goes a few bars longer. Absolutely love it. Shattered, choppy riff. Same thing, start up on the vocals. This one's got a good feel to it. Another good pre-chorus. Lots of big vocals on this one. I like it. Not a standout track, but it's still good. Melodic solo with some keyboards. Lake of Fire. This one I was like kind of like, okay, now we're back to the piano stuff. But I don't mind it because you didn't have a lot of that on this album. You didn't get that throughout the whole thing there. Little plinky piano start with some keyboard synth type of effects going on there. Gets like to a great groove on the riff. This one has an epic feel from the start for me. You get that kind of like, let's end the album with like an epic type song. Once again, down for the verses. But I love when the solos pick up with the pace of the song. It kind of just goes right along with it. The riff and the vocal cadence are fantastic once it gets going. Layered vocals, this is the only one on this album I think that is very Savatage-like feel to it on this one. Right around the 4-minute mark, you get that this is plucked from a Savatage album, or at least had that thought into it. And this part, there's different vocals mixed in here. There's kind of a short melodic shred solo. Killer riff as the song winds down. This one I really like, but great album. But they had me faked out on that first track. I was in fucking dread mode by halfway through this first song. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, and because I like the first album, I'm like, please don't go there. So did they do that to fake us out, or what the fuck? I don't know how they sequence these albums. How can you, for this album, and it's not long, it's only 47 minutes long. If you chopped off that first song, you got like a 42-minute album. Fucking, it would be a perfect fucking album if you chopped that first fucking song off of there.
Yeah.
And start the album with that second song. You would have a perfect fucking album. This would maybe be a fucking, I won't say quite a desert island album for me, but if you knock off that first song, this would be a go-to album for me. I'm gonna have to hook BC up to the fucking AED.
All right. So there's my 4 picks for my birthday episode. We had Savatage Live 94, which seemed like everybody kind of liked, other than me. Not that I didn't like it. Circle to Circle, Burden of Truth was my second pick, which I'm going to say 50-50. Good points, bad points. My third pick was Machines of Grace. Again, I think of 50-50, good and bad. And then I finish off with Archon Angel 2. And that was almost like a 50-50, I think it was. I took it as a 50-50.
From us?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to see how we rank them now.
We'll see.
The live album, it seemed like everybody liked it. So, all right, if you're going to rank them, Dylan, how would you rank them?
I would rank them probably Machines of Grace number 1. Then I would go Archon Angel. Then I would go Savatage. Then I would go Circle to Circle. And really the only one that like I didn't really like love or like, well, not love, but like really the one that like I was like, oh, I just want this to be over was Circle to Circle. And it wasn't because of the album itself. It was because it was the last album I listened to, and everything was starting to blur together at that point. So it was more of a victim of circumstance, as as Larry Fine would say.
8 slices of pizza in.
Yeah, or no, that was Curly that would say that, not Larry. Yeah, but yeah, I think I would like each of these albums individually if I didn't have to listen to them one after the other. I think that they would have been higher in my like esteem if there was some variety thrown in. So I think that that's my one criticism for you is next birthday episode, please, for the love of God,
all Lizzie Borden.
Pick different artists. I know that technically you did.
Maybe that'll be a thing like BB does the Steel Panther. BB Easy will pick all the same vocalists for all the albums.
I just like
because he has that other one that Lizzie Borden has that Hollywood something or other, right?
Star
something.
Star Child.
Yeah.
Starwood.
Starwood.
Take a little while. All right, BB, how do you rank these?
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna flip it around like from Dylan. I'm gonna go Circle to Circle number 1. I thought that album was great, front to back. There was really not anything that. The only thing that was, Live as One. It just kind of ended with that acapella. You know, other than that, I thought that album was great. Number 2 is Archon Angel. I thought that album was a really, really good one. And then I think Savatage, I'll go 3, just the way it falls. And then, like I said, Machines of Grace. After song number 5, it just felt like the same song over and over and over and over and over and over again.
The bottom fell out.
Yeah. So
this Black Friday, you put that back on. Put a note on your phone.
Okay.
You'd be like, holy fuck, Machines of Grace.
This is the best album ever.
It's the best album of all time. Fuck Lizzie Borden.
His birthday album is going to be Machines of Grace, bonus tracks, and demos.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, how would you rank them?
All right. This is actually difficult for me to rank. I'm going to go with the top one is the Savatage Live, but as far as the studio ones go, I'm going to go Archon Angel number 1 because if you knock off that first song, that album, just the tone of it, the production on it, you don't have all of that symphonic shit. You have some background vocals. Then I'm going to go. The next 2 are tough for me because when I put on that Circle to Circle, I was like, man, I forgot how much I liked this album. But then Machines of Grace, I was like, I wish that I knew about this album earlier. So I'm going to go Circle to Circle, then Machines of Grace. Only Machines of Grace last because it's the one that I'm not going to say least familiar with because Archon Angel just came out like fucking 3 weeks ago. But like it didn't have enough time to really grow on me like the Circle to Circle did because like I said, when I put that on, I'm like, wow, I forgot how much I liked this album. And it actually makes me want to go back and check out the other ones too. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to listen to the one that I told you to pick for the one with the bluer cover for Circle to Circle and see if I like it better. And so that's where my rankings are.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, please forgive me. I had you guys overdose on some Zach and the new guy, Zak Stevens. Name the same people, but overall, I mean, I've been a fan of Zach since he took over in fucking Savatage back in early 90s, because Edge of Thorns was 93, 2. And when I get into somebody, ask Steve, I overdose on him, because I would say Danny Vaughn. I was pushing Danny Vaughn, Wasted.
And then he makes us overdose on
Ty
it.
Kettle.
And then finally, years later,
Steve says, "All right, I like him." So I gotta work on BB a little bit more.
what?
Dylan's the wild card. You like Danny Vaughn, right?
Yeah, I've been a Taiketo fan. Come on.
Give him the...
Taiketo.
I have to get in Zak Stevens. But I mean, there's another episode. I mean, any closing thoughts? I don't know.
Yeah, let's do a little BC birthday toast.
Okay, check dance.
Everybody grab your drink
Happy
to my
birthday,
evil
BC.
twin.
You try it.
Here's to
Birthday-
Zak Stevens.
Zak
Here's the
Stevens
Zak
and many
Stevens,
more
damn
BC birthday episodes. Not.
How many more albums does he have? Too many.
He probably has another 4.
No, the Circle has a lot of albums up.
I know.
And the live album, they do a lot of Savatage, which is pretty cool. Production is not the greatest, but and like Jeff Scott Soto, he's with a bunch of bands,
Prolific. Very prolific.
doing singles with tons of bands overseas. And it's funny, he's from Kentucky. I would never have thought that. I think he would be a European guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I saw he's from Bowling Greens, Kentucky. I'm like, really?
He gets around.
The girl gets around.
All right, final thoughts, Dylan.
Yeah, like I said, I really wish that you would have diversified your portfolio, as they say in the business. But other than that, I enjoyed talking about it, and I really liked seeing the similarities between the different projects that he was a part of, seeing what he brought to the table in terms of the DNA of each of these bands. Some of it I liked, some of it I didn't, but that's music for you. Even one person, you might enjoy some of their material, and you might not like as much some of their other material. So it's really cool to see somebody's kind of career in different stages. We really almost kind of ran the gamut with, stuff with Savatage, and then all the way up to the modern Archon Angel. So it was cool to hear that at least. Next time, please pick 4 different sounding things, just so I could give them a fair shake.
He's not the boss of you, BC.
You can do whatever you want.
Do what I want.
It is your birthday episode.
My birthday episode.
I would consider it a very big favor to me. And although that day may never come.
It scares me to think what he's going to pick for his birthday.
Yeah, the revenge is a
gonna
dish
be all
best served cold,
Dave Grohl shit.
as the old Klingon proverb says.
We're in trouble now.
No, but it was fun to talk about this stuff at least. And it was fun razzing you about the fact that you picked the same guy 4 times.
Like I said, I have that personality. I overdose on everything. All right, Steve.
Yeah, BC, happy birthday. And actually, if you guys hear this the day it came out, it will be BC's actual birthday on the 19th of May. So BC, actual happy birthday. And I love the birthday episodes. I will say it on every single one. It's one that I insist all of us are here for. So always a good time, whether we like everything or hate everything. And it's always fun. And I'm glad this is, like I said, this is the first we've been back in the room together for probably over a month, easily, I think. Yeah. And but it's always fun. Have a couple drinks, shoot the shit, bust balls. And actually, we're going to do our tradition after this. We're going to go out on the porch and have a couple beers because it's actually fucking warm enough to actually do it for a change.
It's not raining.
It's not raining. It's not snowing. It's nice out. It's like 70 degrees outside. So happy birthday, BC. And everybody, we have some cool stuff coming up. And I think next week, I think, is going to be a one that was recorded while we were gone away.
Yep.
And then, but I'm really looking forward to the week after that. Really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to, because I always am interested, because when Dylan and BB record, when me and BC are gone on the Monsters of Rock cruise, I always tell them, do not tell me what you guys are going to do. So it's always interesting to see what these guys do, And then it's usually, and even like when I go on vacation and the three of them record, I'm always like, oh, would have wanted to do that. But that's how it goes. So
we did the other Scorpions albums that you haven't.
So it's gonna be cool to see what Dylan and BB came up with, and so I make sure Dylan doesn't leave any notes laying around or anything like that, so I can't see what they actually did. So, but I did know when they recorded because I had the internet on the boat, so I could see when the ringer went off on my phone. Okay, BB's there.
There goes BB.
And I'm timing it. Okay, they were there for that long, so it's gonna be whatever. So I was checking up on you, but I don't have a bug in the room. But it's going to be interesting to see what you guys have.
1984. So, Big Brother's always watching.
Big Daddy's always watching. Big S is always watching. So thanks for listening, everybody. Happy birthday, BC, and keep tuned in. We have a lot of cool shit coming up.
All right, BB.
Yeah, definitely, buddy. BC, happy birthday as always, my evil twin, as I like to call you. Yeah, this episode, I honestly. I'll kind of like piggyback on Dylan. I could say even if you listen to it in a different order, or even if you shuffled all these albums, I honestly think eventually towards the end, I think there's going to be a tire factor because of the same vocal sound, a lot of the same, melodic guitar stuff, slower starts. It was good and bad in a way. But it was hilarious how you just, picked all of Zak Stevens stuff, and a lot of it was good. A lot of it was not so good, and it could have been the tire factor. If you,
that was good. That's so good.
2 years down the road, we go across Machines of Grace and we're like, oh wow, this is a really good album. Oh, fucking 2 years ago, you fucking shit on it. Fucking right? But
that album?
Yeah, I think it's just a tire factor of everything sounding the same. But that's your birthday, buddy. You do what you want. But like I said, happy birthday, many more. Hang in there and don't do that again, like Dylan said.
All right, so I'm going to take everybody's notes here. Maybe, like I said,
maybe
I get into something. I usually dive into it head first, and usually it doesn't work out too good. I end up on the floor. But hey, it happens. But I just love Zach. I had to get him.
Zach Wild?
No,
I don't know why you gotta keep saying Zach, because there's only one Zach in this podcast.
I'm very concerned that you just gave him an idea for his birthday episode.
I know, right? That's it! All Zach!
It's all Zach all the time.
We got Ozzy Zach, Black Label Zach,
Black Label, Pride and Glory.
Pride and Glory Zach.
Once the Pride and Glory comes in, I'm checking out.
oh, Pride and... How many albums they have?
Just one.
Oh, damn it. Okay, that'd be one of them. But, all right. Hey, like I said, hey, another fun episode. We're all together for the first time in quite a while. You don't realize, it don't seem like that long until you sit down and it's like, holy shit, it's been that long. But, hey, we did it. So, all right. Thank you, everybody out there, for tuning in. And, like I said, check us on everything. I'm not the technical guy here, but you can find us pretty much everywhere in Techland. And
Spotify playlist.
Dylan's good.
You can OD on Zak Stevens like we have.
OD on Zak Stevens and like throw up in your backyard. But hey, another fun episode. Thank you guys for letting me host it and wait. And until next time. And there will be a next time.